the current journal I'm using right now. So I started journaling just how most guys I'd kind of expect to start journaling. I got out of a super long relationship and I thought, I better write down how I feel in this moment right now. And that's how it all started. So fast forwarding a year and a half later, this is now my 5th journal that I've completed. I actually have it written here in the front, book 5. And ever since I've started journaling, I can safely say I will never stop. One of my favorite things to do now is literally just go to a coffee shop, get a warm black coffee or a cold brew if it's hot outside, sit down and just kind of free write. Just write whatever is going on with my life, whatever things that have been kind of bugging me lately, things that have been going well lately, just drinking some coffee and kind of relaxing and just putting words on paper. And one of the first things I want to start with is there are no rules to journaling. You could do a simple 30-second what you're grateful for. You could write down your feelings in the moment, or you could document your life on a day-to-day or a week-to-week or even a month-to-month basis. And I even know somebody who actually couple journals, meaning them and their partner sit down and kind of journal together. And that can look like however you want it to look. But this is why I started journaling, why I continue to journaling, and why I like it so much to the point where I'm never gonna stop it. And I love the idea of documenting the short life we have on this earth. Like, we only got a little bit of time, and as you get older, time starts to go so fast, and before you know it, it's gonna be gone. It's like I'm in my 20s now. I know I'm not gonna be in my 20s forever, and I know when you're younger, you tend to like do more cool, fun things. You're not gonna remember everything you did, so I think it's so cool to have a little time capsule where you can go back and read whatever day, whatever age, what you were feeling in that moment, because you might remember something, and you might think, oh, that was cool, or that wasn't cool. You don't really remember how you feel. The way I write down is like, I'll be able to know what exactly I was feeling and whatever major scenario was important enough for me to write it down. And I think that's pretty valuable to have. And going back and being able to read the highs and lows that you went through. There's a Matthew McConaughey clip where he talks about journaling and how when he's feeling down or doing bad, he goes back to when he was feeling good and what his habits were, what he was doing on a daily basis, what his thoughts were, everything that made him in a better spot at that time. And then you can really be like, okay, this is temporary. Whatever you're going through currently, it's not gonna last forever. There's gonna be good and there's gonna be bad. And it's just a nice way to know, okay, there's reassurance. And at the end of the day, our life is just a big story. So it's like, what is my story gonna be? Is it gonna be a success story? Is it gonna be a failure story? Is it gonna be a love story, you know? And whatever I prioritize when I write down is what it will turn out to be. And that's obviously what is consuming my life mostly. So I'm kind of curious, what's the ending of this gonna be? When I'm 60 years old, I'm gonna sit on my balcony, have a drink, and just be like, this is what 20-year-old Reno was doing in his free time. Sometimes when I got nothing to say, I'll just doodle too. That's probably a bad habit I should stop. The most beneficial thing, without a doubt, I've learned from journaling is prioritization. What is dominating the thoughts in my mind? What is something that I put on a pedestal and I think about maybe way too much, or what are some things that I don't think about enough that I should be thinking about? And if you get on a pretty consistent schedule, you'll really start to notice what is making your brain tick. What are things that you're putting on a high priority and what are things that you're putting on a low priority? And this can be a game changer for if you're wasting a ton of time on things that aren't that important to you. You really start to understand if you're prioritizing something that maybe doesn't need to be prioritized and you're spending way too much of your time thinking about it or acting on it, that it's not necessary. And you'll also really learn things that are important in your life, things that you really like, that you don't even spend that much time on that you could. So aside from journaling being fun and the fact that like I kind of enjoy it and it helps me mentally, this is by far the most beneficial thing I've learned from it, because I've been in so many situations where when you get down your thoughts and there's no bias of other people kind of telling you what you think, you really start to understand breaking down your thoughts of why you feel a certain way and why you're doing what you're doing. I got these dried strawberries. I'd honestly rather just have real strawberries. This is just my opinions on journaling. This is why I like it. I don't think it can hurt to try, and I think there's a ton of benefits to it, but I think everybody is different and this will like kind of affect everyone different. But the thing is look, you don't have to do it every day. You don't have to do it all the time. It doesn't have to be like obsessive or anything. You could just have one for if you do want it, if it does cross your mind, you know? And I wanted to end on this note. It's gotten to the point where I enjoy it so much where it's like, I kind of look at this YouTube video as documenting my life in a way where it's like a different form of it. And it's kind of like a hobby where I kind of record just little bits of my day in the life. And I think it's so cool that I'm gonna be able to look back and see what I was doing at this age. And if people are coming along and watch it, that's cool, but I'm mostly posting on here and stuff just for me and just because I think it's fun. Please let me know if you do or do not journal and if you have any questions.